I'm going to be making a video about drawing trend lines on NAS and how you can use these trend lines to your advantage when getting an entry. That's funny. Okay, let me just quickly delete these. Okay, so firstly, what you want to do is you want to try see where the market is going. So obviously NASDAQ has been going up for quite a while now. And then what you want to do is you want to try start from like a nice area where you can kind of see that it tends to, you can see how, yeah, if we put a trend line here, how it touches this area quite a couple times. Okay, something like that, right? I'll fix it up now in the lower time frames. And then I like to draw a channel as well. So I like to put one on the top as well. And when you're drawing these, you must try to get as many touches as possible. So like, for example, some people will draw it up there, but then you're only getting this one touch, two touch, and that's not enough. Like you need to try to get as many as you can. So if you put it there, then you're getting one, two, three touches. Um, obviously, let me just do that. Obviously, if you had to do something like that, you'd get a lot more touches, but that's not the best looking trend line. Again, you want to keep your chart as neat as possible. Okay, then lock it in. Okay, then we have that. So then what I like to do is I like to go down to 1 hour and just fix my trend line. Okay, so here's another thing. So some people like to start from the close of the most recent candle and then to try connect it to the next close. But lately I've been doing it either from the wick or from the close. It just depends where I get the most touches. That's the way that I like to do it. I actually like how that is because it's coming, touching, 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 and then here we're obviously waiting. And then just try to extend it as much as you can as well. Okay, and just to fix the top one. Top one actually doesn't look too bad at the moment. Okay, let's see. Okay, then from here, this is the trick to trading with trend lines. So then I go back to 4 hour. So this is how I trade with trend lines. Obviously, I don't only use trend lines. Trend lines is one of my confirmations as well as other things which I'll be releasing in another video um, on like pretty much my NASDAQ strategy, what I do and what the 4 things are that I look for. And then if those 4 things are there, I enter in the market. But this is another little simple trick. So what you do is you take this and you mark it down like that. So, for example, like this part of the graph wouldn't have been here, but you try cut it down like this, right? And then you go to 1 hour. Let's go back to where we were. Then you go to 1 hour. Then you'll see like when NAS is in this area, obviously we wouldn't have known what was going on here, but NAS would have been coming down here. When this came, we would have already drawn this trend line down there. And the only time you start looking for an entry is once it breaks above. And then normally on the retest of that trend line, that's a good indication. So again, you want to draw your channel. So like this top one and this bottom one, and then you want to slice NAS. So like again here, you want to slice it down, something like that. And then once it breaks is when you start looking for your buys. Again here, you're going to slice it down, something like that, and then you start looking for your buys. When it's under that trend line, you do not want to be looking for buys. You have a less chance or lower probability of being right. So here we would have sliced it probably something like that. Here it came, no retest. Here again, same thing. So as you can see, I'm slicing it here because remember these parts wouldn't have been here yet, so you would have used those 3 touches. And here it breaks, and here it retests it the whole time. Look at that, that's beautiful there. And there you would have gotten your entry. Obviously also with other things, but yeah, that video is coming a little bit later. Again, we can, yeah, this one's a bit too much. That one I wouldn't have used. So it doesn't happen all the time, but this is just a little something that you can add to your chart. That does help quite a bit. So yeah, lately it's been quite hard for it, but you'll see once NAS decides to hit here and turn around again, then it should break all the way down quite nicely for us. And then from there, we will be able to, um, from there, for example, we would be able to chop it like that. And then let's say it comes down, it breaks our chair, retest there, we enter, bah, we catch it. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much how I use trend lines. So just to sum it up a little bit, I draw my nice channel and then I kind of slice it down. When it does, because NAS tends to push up the whole time. So when it pushes up, but as soon as it has that little pullback, that's when you must slice it down. And then as soon as it's above that trend line, then from there, you'll start looking for buys again. Okay, yeah, you guys can retest this, but obviously in order to retest this, you need to draw a channel. So like, for example, this was earlier in the year. We had this trend line, and we had, no, had something like this, I think. And again, would have sliced. Obviously, this is on 4 hour, but let's do it on 1 hour. Yeah, you would have sliced it down like that, probably. Retest. Um, but yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.